Well, we are officially 2.5 weeks into the Tiny Trio Card Shop LLC, and it's been awesome. I've done 2 streams so far already. We had our opening night stream last Tuesday, and then our second stream last Thursday. We're actually having our 3rd stream tonight, which will be our first weekend stream as well. So in the last video, we went over my background, how I was getting product, and my initial startup costs for the company. Now that we're moving into week 3, I want to go over my bookkeeping, my website and my logo design, my shipping process, and the stream setup. This is episode 2 of Can I Create a Successful Online Card Shop in 2026? Let's dive in. Now again, to be transparent here, I do not have a lick of business experience. I was a biology major in college, and the only business I've ever run is a photography, videography contract gig that I did for about a year or 2. But I do like spreadsheets and I do like being organized, so I went ahead and made an Excel sheet when I first started this bookkeeping. Now on that sheet, the first page I have is my purchases, it's my transaction log. This is just keeping track of everything that I've spent money on because I want it to be separated from my personal account. I then have a sales log, which was like my startup, my loans, and the 3 graded cards that I sold that helped start this. Then I created a buy decision calculator, which gave me market prices and then percentage of market prices and what I need to buy at to make a profit on it. And then I had another page for a sealed market price. So this was everything that I was looking at buying or even interested in buying and finding the market price of it. Lastly, before I had the website set up on Shopify, I created my own inventory list. So I had everything that I had ordered or brought in or anything like that, and I put the quantity, what I want to sell it at, what the market price is, and my overall value that I have in stock currently. Now, this was all great when I first started, but now that I have the Shopify website and Shopify handles my inventory and my income and all of that, a lot of these pages I don't really need. The main one that I keep track of is my transaction log because I need to know how much I'm spending and be able to compare it with how much I'm bringing in. And then my sealed market price, because it's a lot easier to have all those prices on a worksheet rather than going back to like TCG Player every time I want to look at a new product. Now I do have to keep that sealed market price updated as much as possible since this market is fluctuating all the time, but I think that's just something that comes with this business. So for now, that's kind of the book that I'm working with. So I'm part Shopify with all the stuff it's able to do, along with my own Excel sheet that I can compare to and have things outside of Shopify that it won't track. Now, let's dig into the logo and the website. Morning, guys. It's Saturday morning, about 4:45 a.m. and it's time to start working on the website. But first, I need some coffee. Now, like I said, it's about 4:55 in the morning right now, which is why I'm in a bedrobe. But that's going to be like one small challenge of the shop is I do have 3 kids under 3. So that means I can really only dedicate time to stuff like this early in the morning, midday nap, or late night after they go to bed. And that challenge right there caused a bit of hesitation before I started the shop, but I decided I'm going to put as much time in as I can and I'm going to make it as great as possible and we'll see where it goes. So with that, let's work on some website stuff. So to start this out, I'm a very visual guy, so I needed to start with the logo. I wanted it to come across as very family friendly since the whole theme of the shop is my 3 little kids. So I'm using kind of a cartoon comic theme with also some of my wife and I's favorite colors. A little bit of Photoshop touch up here and there, a little color change here and there, and we were able to get the final logo, and now I just needed a badge to go with it. And with that, the Tiny Trio logo was made, and now we just had to work on the website. For the website builder, I ended up going with Shopify. I know there's a bunch of different website design sites out there, but I heard a lot about Shopify and how easy it was to customize and create the storefront the exact way that I wanted it to be. So if we dive in here, what I decided to do was sign up with everything, pay for the domain, and get all that set and ready before I could even start customizing the site itself. Once we got all that done, they give you a few basic themes that you can take from. So I picked one that was close to the theme I was looking to build, and then I took that and I customized it myself. They even give you a desktop tab and a mobile tab so you can customize each one differently. Once I got the design and the images and the format set up, it was time to get the actual product and product tab stuck on there as well. Now, to make sure all the product and the shipping information was accurate on the website, I had to go through all of my product, get it all organized, and then measure and weigh each piece. So with that, Cue the time lapse. So here I am just organizing everything that I have in the bins and making sure that I get everything in the right collection that I want to place it in on the website. Then I needed to get the scale and the tape measure because we had to measure and weigh each product so that the shipping labels would be accurate. Now Shopify does a great job of adding up the products that the customer purchases and calculating the weight. It also takes your shipping boxes and your bubble mailers and will recommend what to ship the product in. So now everything's weighed, measured, and I have the correct shipping materials in there for Shopify to do its thing when a purchase comes through. Now the next thing is figuring out my shipping setup. And for that, we go to the garage. What's up, everybody? Now you guys might be wondering, why are you in an unfinished garage? Well, this is no ordinary unfinished garage, all right? This is shipping and receiving of the Tiny Trio card shop. That's right, here's shipping and receiving. This is where I'm gonna be packaging orders, where I'm gonna be bringing stuff in, and this handy dandy farm table is gonna be where it's at. Now, first off, I got a new tripod, so I'm gonna go change that out real quick. Now we're cooking. I have some shipping supplies already, bubble mailers, definitely, but the boxes have come in. Let's see what we got. So these are 16 10x6s, 8x8x4s, my squares. Bigger boxes, obviously, for more items. If people are buying sealed stuff, same thing with these. I do have some more stuff already upstairs that I used when I was selling like on eBay. I think mostly we're gonna be using bubble mailers and maybe these guys. That's really it, especially if people want to rip and ship. A lot of rip and ship, I assume it's just gonna be all bubble mailers. This was a big deal to me. I wanted to get all my shipping supplies in, wanted to make sure I had everything and that it all would fit correctly. So there we go. I'm just gonna organize it a little bit. And finally, I wanted to go over my stream setup. It's gonna be a pretty integral component of my shop, so I wanted the stream to be smooth and to look really nice for the viewers. I am still waiting on a couple things that I have on order that aren't here yet, so this is gonna change up a little bit, but for now, this is what I have. So the first is the playmat. I'm using the custom one that I made for my personal Instagram. But then I also have this nice desk clip phone mount and a Blue Yeti mic. So I'm using my iPhone 14 as my camera for my actual Twitch stream for the card opening view. But then up in the corner, I have a normal square light with an OBS bot face camera. I really like this camera because it does do face tracking. So if I'm moving around on stream, especially in that little square that I'll have up on the stream, it does follow me as it goes. I'm using OBS Studio as my software for streaming. This was a little bit of a learning curve, but I do really like the setup that I've gotten so far. And then on my other monitor, I'll have my Shopify open to see the orders that come in. And then I'm using a Stream Deck that allows me to easily switch through views. So I have a main view, I have a split face and main view, I have a card only view, and then I have a desktop view, which mirrors my desktop if we want to look at prices or if something on the shop or anything like that. And that's pretty much the stream setup. A lot of this stuff is from Amazon, so I could drop some links for that below as well. And then all of my stock is actually still under the bed and I just pull it out when stream happens. But the streams have been going pretty decent. Now they're every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So definitely stop by if you get a chance and hang out a little bit and maybe even do some rip and ship. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I really hope you guys are enjoying the behind the scenes of building this shop. It's been enjoyable to try and put everything together and see how it's come out, especially over this first week of actually doing live streams and being open. Now in the next video, I'm gonna recap our first full month of being open. So we'll go over some of the things I've learned, some of the things I bought that I didn't really need, and anything else that may happen within the next few weeks. I'll also go over some of my branding stuff. I do have a lot of branding stuff coming in, so I'll unbox that and we'll go over some of that stuff that I'm adding. And then we'll see what else happens in the next couple weeks. Maybe we'll add a couple more things on. But for now, thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. Check out all the socials. Join me on Twitch on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for live rip and ship. And go give the Instagram a follow because that's where most of my consistent posting is. And I'll see you guys in the next one.